What if doing less actually allows you to achieve not only more, but a whole lot more? Although this idea seems counterintuitive, proponents of strategic underachievement and slow productivity suggest that this is definitely the case. Consider the story of Jake and Sarah, two friends who lived beside each other in an apartment building in New York. Sarah was seemingly made for New York. She was a whirlwind of activity, always rushing from one task to the next. She rarely said no, taking on every opportunity that came her way. Sarah believed in trying to do it all. She was eager to accomplish great things. Her calendar was filled with meetings, projects, social events, and endless to-do lists. The people in her social circle envied her. It looked to them like she was a go-getter who was doing great things and had it all figured out. However, despite her frantic pace and the fact that everyone saw her as the life of the party and #life goals, Sarah often felt unfulfilled. Her energy was scattered, her focus divided among too many pursuits. She started many things but rarely finished any, leaving her feeling perpetually overwhelmed and unsatisfied. Her attempt to solve this problem was to chase more and run even faster to try to catch it, until one day she realized she had absolutely no idea what she was actually chasing. She and Jake would probably never have been friends, except for the fact that they were neighbors, and Jake was friendly and kind, always ready to take the time to listen to Sarah's troubles and give encouragement where he could. Jake was not made for New York, but he had found happiness there. He believed that you should bloom where you are planted. Jake lived a much quieter, more deliberate life. From the outside, it seemed to Sarah as though Jake did very little. He didn't engage in the hustle culture that consumed so many. He declined most social invitations from Sarah because they were all to large parties, with lots of people but not a lot of actual connection. But he did enjoy going to lunch with Sarah or for a quiet stroll in the park. To Sarah, it seemed like Jake did not have very much drive to live a meaningful life. However, Jake focused his energy on a few goals that were important to him, carefully choosing what to pursue and what to let go of. But he didn't talk about it very much. He spent less time working than Sarah. But when he did, he worked with purpose and intention. While Sarah was often overwhelmed by her commitments, Jake found joy in his chosen pursuits. Whether it was mastering a musical instrument, volunteering for a cause he cared about, or simply enjoying time with loved ones. In the long run, Jake accomplished more than Sarah, much more. He completed meaningful projects, cultivated deep relationships, and experienced a sense of fulfillment that Sarah constantly chased but never caught. Jake's focused approach allowed him to achieve a rich and balanced life that made him feel fulfilled and generally satisfied. This story illustrates that by deliberately choosing to focus on fewer tasks and embracing a slower, more intentional approach, even though it might not be what our society seems to admire, we can reduce stress, enhance creativity, and ultimately achieve more meaningful and sustainable results. This challenges the mainstream values of constant hustle and relentless ambition that engulf our society, advocating instead for a balanced and thoughtful way of living that prioritizes quality over quantity. Strategic underachievement and slow productivity are two strategies that can help do that and achieve more balance and satisfaction in our lives. Let's explore how these strategies empower us to succeed by fostering a more thoughtful and intentional way of working, proving that slowing down can be a powerful strategy for winning in life. Strategic underachievement is about intentionally choosing where to invest your energy and where to let go. This idea isn't new. It echoes the ancient wisdom of philosophers like Epicurus, who taught that pleasure comes from simplicity and focusing on what's truly important. Not what we have, but what we enjoy constitutes our abundance. Modern advocates like McKeown, author of Essentialism, have revitalized this concept. McKeown argues, if you don't prioritize your life, someone else will. By embracing strategic underachievement, we can focus on the vital few and ignore the trivial many. Think of a working parent who chooses to decline a promotion to spend more time with their family, or a student who takes fewer classes to focus deeply on their passion for philosophy. It's not about giving up, it's about choosing the right sacrifices for a more meaningful life. In 4,000 Weeks, Time Management for Mortals, Oliver Burkeman discusses the concept of strategic underachievement as a counterintuitive approach to managing our limited time. Burkeman argues that, given the finite nature of our lives, roughly 4,000 weeks, it's crucial to acknowledge that we can't do everything. Instead, he suggests embracing the practice of deliberately neglecting certain tasks and goals that are less meaningful or essential. This approach allows us to focus our energy on what truly matters, ultimately leading to a more fulfilling and intentional life. By consciously choosing where to underachieve, we can make room for the pursuits and experiences that align with our values and aspirations, rather than being consumed by the endless demands of modern life. Now let's shift gears to slow productivity. This concept promotes a deliberate and thoughtful approach to work, focusing on quality over quantity. It's a pushback against the hustle culture that celebrates busyness as a badge of honor. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Cal Newport, author of Deep Work and Slow Productivity, emphasizes the importance of focusing on cognitively demanding tasks without distraction. Newport's idea of deep work aligns with slow productivity, as both encourage a slower, more thoughtful pace to achieve meaningful results. In Slow Productivity, Newport delves into the art of accomplishing meaningful work without succumbing to the relentless pace of modern life. He argues that the key to achieving deep, fulfilling work lies in embracing a slower, more deliberate approach to productivity. By focusing on quality over quantity and prioritizing long-term goals over immediate gains, Newport offers a refreshing perspective that challenges the conventional wisdom of hustle culture. People overestimate what they can accomplish in a year and underestimate what they can accomplish in a decade, is a quote often attributed to Bill Gates, the co-founder of Microsoft. While the exact wording may vary, the sentiment highlights the tendency for people to set overly ambitious short-term goals, while underappreciating the potential for significant achievements over a longer period with consistent effort. Consider a writer who spends months crafting a single novel, poring over every detail instead of churning out quick content, or a company that values employee well-being over constant deadlines, resulting in fewer but more impactful projects. Slow productivity isn't about laziness, it's about creating space for deep, meaningful work. Philip Roth, Toni Morrison, and Ursula K. Le Guin are examples of this phenomenon. They were all prolific authors whose enduring literary contributions span decades, despite publishing a book only every few years. Roth, with around 31 novels including Portnoy's Complaint and American Pastoral, consistently explored complex themes in American life. Morrison, who published 11 novels such as Beloved and Song of Solomon, delved deeply into African American experiences and history, and won the Nobel Prize for her work. Meanwhile, Le Guin's 22 novels, including classics like The Left Hand of Darkness and the Earthsea series, challenged and expanded genre boundaries in science fiction and fantasy. Though their output was not rapid, each author maintained a steady, impactful presence in literature, producing a body of work that remains influential and celebrated to this day. At first glance, these concepts might seem similar, but they have distinct nuances. Strategic underachievement is about intentional focus and prioritization. It asks, what can I afford to let go of? In contrast, slow productivity is about the pace and quality of work. It asks, how can I do my best work at a sustainable pace? Yet, they intersect in their rejection of societal pressure to always do more. Both encourage us to step back, reassess our values, and prioritize our well-being over constant achievement. They invite us to find joy in the process, not just the outcome. These ideas resonate deeply with both philosophy and psychology. Philosophically, they align with Stoicism, which teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of the rest. Psychologically, they echo mindfulness practices, which emphasize being present and intentional in our actions. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more. That is poor. Seneca. By embracing these concepts, we can reduce stress, enhance our well-being, and live a more balanced life. They're not just abstract ideas, they're practical tools for navigating our everyday lives. Studies suggest that working more slowly and deliberately can lead to much better outcomes, particularly in creative tasks. This concept is often related to the idea of slow work or deliberate practice. Deliberate practice. Research by psychologist Anders Ericsson indicates that high levels of expertise are achieved through focused, deliberate practice rather than just repetition. This involves working slowly and mindfully to improve specific aspects of performance. Flow state. The concept of flow, introduced by Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, suggests that people are more productive and creative when they are fully immersed in an activity, which often requires a slower, more intentional approach. Cognitive load theory. Studies on cognitive load show that working too quickly can overwhelm cognitive resources, leading to decreased quality of output. Slowing down can help manage cognitive load and improve the quality of work. Mindfulness and creativity. Research has found that mindfulness practices, which encourage a slower and more present approach to our tasks, can enhance creativity and problem-solving skills. So how can we apply these ideas? Start by identifying areas where you can strategically underachieve. What are the most important things that you want to achieve in your life? It is impossible to know your how without first knowing your why. What can you let go of to make room for what truly matters to you? Next, embrace slow productivity. Focus on deep work, and don't be afraid to say no to the endless stream of demands upon your life. Choose your priorities and don't allow the world to choose them for you. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the philosophy of doing less. Remember, it's not about how much you do, but about the quality and intention behind your actions. If you enjoyed this exploration, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Let's continue this journey of philosophical discovery together. Until next time, embrace the beauty of insignificance and find meaning in the simplicity of life.